Welcome back to the IdahoSports.com Boys Basketball State Tournament Preview Special. Brandon Baney joined now by Joel Richardson. Joel, you and I are going to be on the call for the 1A D1 State Tournament. What's going on, Joel?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All good? Great. I got a nice halo above my head. I'm feeling very angelic. Everything we say is just going to be spot on. We're going to predict the whole tournament. Nothing like the Jones guys. We're just going to predict everything, Brandon.
I love it. I think that's going to be that's a perfect way to set it up. This is the first time you've been a part of one of these, and so it's really fun to get you in here. Already a comment before we could even look at the bracket or anything, and of course it's from Lapway. Josh Henry, Lapway Wildcats and Lakeside Knights for the 1A D1 championship. This year, the Wildcats will take back the title. Case Why Not has grown into a powerful player from last year, and he will be just too much all tournament. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Let's take a look at this bracket, though. So for those that haven't seen the official pairings here, the 1A D1 tournament going to take place at Valley View High School right out of the gates, 4 versus 5, Butte County and Oakley. Then it's number 1 Lapway against number 8 Victory Charter. And then the second half of the day, number 2 Potlatch against number 7 Valley. And then the 3 versus 6 Lakeside and Liberty Charter. Joel, number one thing that jumps out to you when you look at this bracket?
Lapway and Potlatch, really, but really Lapway. What are we going to see? I think we're going to see a lot of their star player, Case Why Not. Look, they lost it last year in a double, triple overtime thriller, or single overtime. I think Lapway they stick out, and then Potlatch. I think if I'm an East Idaho guy, right, live out here in Pocatello. But I think a lot of 1A would love to see, if you're like a true 1A fan, 1A D1, you want to see Lapway and Potlatch go at it in the final. I think that'd be a great final. Potlatch maybe gets a chance to upset Lapway. They haven't been able to this year, right? The closest they got was, I think, 12 points in the second to last game. So I'd love to see a Potlatch-Lapway rematch. They're in the same district for that championship game. But I will say, Brandon, Lapway, Potlatch got to be careful, right? Maybe Victory Charter, Valley. We'll see about those two teams. But that second day, it's always tricky getting to that championship game.
Yeah, it's tough for sure. And I would say the matchup I kind of want to see, and I think a lot of people, is the rematch of last year's championship, Lapway and Lakeside. They complement each other so well. They do a lot of the same things. They're very active defensively. They like to get out and run in transition. Star power. I mean, you look at the starting lineups for both teams, and it's just like dripping with star power. I think, if Lakeside and Potlatch meet in the semifinals, the question will be, can Potlatch slow down Lakeside and kind of grind them to a halt? But in that top half of the bracket, I think if it's Butte County and Lapway, Butte County, they've got 10 or 11 guys, Joel, that have all played pretty regularly. Coach Mindy Gamet runs a deep bench, and I think she did that with the idea of, hey, if we get to state and we see a Lapway or a Lakeside, we got to have bodies to withstand the run and gun that those teams like to do. For sure. It's going to be interesting. More comments coming through in the chat here. Here's a vote 77. Go Potlatch Loggers. And how about this, Joel? We've got an actual player in the chat. Daniel Juarez, the starting center for the Valley Vikings. I play for Valley, and we are coming. Let's talk about this Valley Vikings team. They had lost to Oakley in the regular season finale to take second in the regular season conference standings in District 4. They get revenge in the district championship game, though. And, I kind of looked at the back half of the season. They kind of sputtered a little bit early on. They were missing Pedro Robles with an injury, but since he came back, Valley has only lost twice or maybe 3 times. It's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, it has been. I like Daniel Juarez. That it was 6'1" forward. He's a senior. He's got the talent and also the leadership. It's huge when you get down to these tournament games. It's so important when you have that senior leadership. Some of these teams in this tournament are kind of young, but Valley, they have a couple of seniors and a couple of juniors, so mostly upperclassmen leading that charge. So yeah, as I've been looking into this Valley Vikings team, doing a little bit of research, Brandon, I like Valley for sure.
Okay, so if we look at the matchup here, Valley is the 7 against Potlatch the 2. I got to be honest. I think Valley might be underseeded a little bit. I would probably slot Valley ahead of Liberty Charter. No disrespect there, and also, they did beat Oakley for the district championship. District results are supposed to have some weight and some meaning, I thought, but I don't know. Oakley still got in ahead of them. That's a very dangerous matchup for Potlatch right away. If there was going to be a first round upset, and I don't really call a 5-over-4 an upset, I think Valley's the team that could do it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Potlatch, again, I would love to see Potlatch Lapway, but Potlatch has got to be careful because Valley is going to be dangerous, definitely.
Potlatch's problem is depth. They play about 7 guys a night, maybe 8. They had 2 players they were counting on that were taller players. Both suffer season-ending injuries. Now the players they have are dynamic, right? You've got the Lovell cousins, Chase and Everett. You've got Jackson Vowels, who is silky smooth, big tall forward at 6'5". Jack Clark, who was the quarterback on the football field, he runs the point. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are point guards in this tournament, Joel. I don't know if you noticed that. Kyler Robinson from Oakley, Josh Hardy from Valley, and then you look at Potlatch and Jack Clark. So you've got the QBs going into the point guard role, which will give a boost up there too. Let's talk about the District 3 teams for a second here. Liberty Charter, Victory Charter. The storyline with District 3 in 1A D1 is always going to be, can somebody get a win in the opening round? It has been a very long time since somebody from District 3 has gotten onto that semifinal side of the bracket. If you had to pick who's got the no path is easy, especially for Victory Charter having to play Lapway right away. But is there a way forward for them? That's another team that's low on numbers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time if I'm Victory Charter beating Lapway. I think Liberty Charter has the better chance of beating Lakeside, but Lakeside they're still really good. Got a lot of leftovers from last year's championship team, but I think Liberty Charter with the 2 Lukes, right? One's sharpshooter, the other Luke Starner. He's a low block perimeter scorer. They have a nice mixture of those 2 Lukes who can do damage. If anyone's going to upset, I think it's going to be the Liberty Charter Patriots versus the Victory Charter Vipers.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in the 2 Lukes, right? Luke Thomas out front, the guard, Luke Starner inside. And then, Victory Charter's got a kid that people in District 3 know, but statewide maybe, Noah Palomares. Kid is incredible. He's only 5'7". If he was a couple inches taller, because he's got the skill and the shooting ability, he's a player that's going to be really fun to watch. And we'll talk about our players to watch here in just a moment. Here's a comment from Howard Wood, hoping Butte County can put together some games for this group of seniors and to build the program for the underclassmen. The community is excited and will be following. Joel, I shared this with you earlier. I saw on social media, the Butte County School District, basically they were going to have so many staff members and so many students heading over to state on Thursday for that opening round game. They basically said, hey, should we just cancel school for Thursday and make it up later? They kind of sent out a survey to everybody in the district and parents and stuff, and like resounding yes, cancel school. And they said, okay, school's been canceled. Last one out of Arco, turn out the lights.
Love it. Let's all go to Boise. And if you can't get to Boise, hey, join us on IdahoSports.com. We'll be there. I love that. I love the no school on Thursday, Friday. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna follow these boys, dude. Butte County, they're gonna be a hard out. Butte County, Oakley. I said this on my post a couple days ago when the brackets first came out. Watch out for that 4 or 5 game. That's gonna be exciting. And that's Butte County, Brandon. Really sorry. They're the champions in football, right? 1A D1 champions in football. Great story there from their player who was hurt badly and he's coming back. So it would be really cool to kind of wrap the bow for the Butte County Pirates to go all the way.
Yeah, that matchup with Butte County and Oakley, those two played for the football championship this past fall. And there's a lot of guys that on both sides, Isaac Cranny and Kyler Robinson and Cooper Beck and Dallin Hardy, all for Oakley. They all played football, and Butte County's got, they've got Gamet and they've got Rafe McAfee, and they've got a lot of guys that played in that football championship game as well. Couple of comments here. Sam says, watch out for Luke Thomas from Liberty Charter. And then here's Michelle, Noah Palomares, tough player. He's strong and a scorer and dangerous. Yes, I agree there. So that 4-5 matchup to me is the most intriguing of the opening round. And you talked about the storyline with Butte County, right? They won their first football championship in school history this past fall. They had to overcome the odds. They had to knock out Oakley, who was looking for their 4th championship in a row, which is just incredible to think about. Yeah. And then off the field, Dylan Waymeyer, of course, had that really scary medical emergency where he collapsed during a football game, had to be taken to the hospital, long road to recovery, was able to come watch Butte County in Holt Arena in a wheelchair on the sideline for that championship game. Obviously, still recovering, can't play basketball. Head coach Mindy Gamet says he's actually a guy we were really counting on to be like our center and a post player inside. So we kind of miss him there, but he has been on the bench as basically another coach all season long. So Coach Dylan Waymeyer is going to be there for Butte County this weekend too.
And that's so powerful to have that kind of that brain, and also just that inspiration from the bench. I was there calling the game with Logan Green of the 1A D1 championship game, and when Dylan Waymeyer, Dilly Strong, when he got up from his wheelchair, Brandon, to hoist the trophy, we got a little emotional, Logan and I there did in the booth. So really cool that he's on the bench supporting his team. You talked about those players. Brody Westergaard also. I don't know if you mentioned him. He's a senior. He's a guard. He's averaging 17 points per game. So this Butte County, it took them a while. They had some injuries. Same with Oakley. It took them a few games to get back out of football shape and into basketball shape, but they're ready to go for sure.
And they almost didn't make it, right? They had to beat Grace in triple overtime at districts, and then Grace beat them coming back through to force the if necessary winner-take-all final game. And Butte County finally put Grace away, and it's the first time Butte County's been at state in a couple of years. Grace has kind of had the run of the league for the last couple of years, so it's nice to see Butte County get to state, and now they'll try to break through. They did win a championship back in 2013 against, ironically enough, Ryan Ball, the coach at Potlatch. He was coaching Kamei at the time. So Ryan Ball's hoping he doesn't see Butte County anywhere on this bracket. Might bring up old wounds. Let's take a look at our 1A D1 players to watch, Joel. We picked one player from each team, just kind of a starting point in the conversation here, but here's what we had. Brody Westergaard from Butte County, you just mentioned him. Tyson Charlie from Lakeside. He is only a sophomore, and he is averaging over 20 points per game. He is the leading scorer for that Lakeside team. Case Wynot from Lapway, all-time leading scorer in Idaho basketball history. Luke Starner from Liberty Charter, Isaac Cranny from Oakley, Jackson Vowles from Potlatch, Pedro Robles from Valley. He's really been the difference since he came back from injury. And then Noah Palomares from Victory Charter. Give me one guy you're really excited to watch this weekend.
I haven't seen, I know it's kind of like a boring pick, but I haven't seen Case play live. I would love to see Case play Case Wynot live. Watch Case Wynot play live. I want to see his versatility. I was watching some games as we prepped for this, and I love how he can switch hands. I love his mid-range game, and he can shoot it from three, but I want to see Case Wynot play live, Brandon.
He essentially averages a triple-double, right? He averages 35-plus points per game, about 12 rebounds per game, and like 9 assists per game. It's really impressive to watch. He's very unselfish. This Lapway team in total is unselfish. They've got Elias Year out. They've got Chris Bonney down low. Joey Payne runs the point. He's a great player as well. A guy I'm really excited to see play in person. I want to see Brody Westergaard. I've seen him play football in person, and I know what kind of dynamic skills he can bring. I want to see what he does on the basketball court. And I'm excited to see Palomares too from Victory Charter. I look at the stats. I've seen him on film, but he's just a guy I'm really intrigued by. So I think it's going to be really interesting to watch him play for sure.
And let me just add, Brandon, anyone who is the Western Idaho Conference Player of the Year deserves a lot of cred. So yeah, can't wait to watch the Western Idaho Conference Player of the Year from last year play this year, and Noah Palomares.
Yep. Here's Crystal. Wahoo. Go Bro Dog. That's Brody Westergaard. Good luck, boys. Go get him. All right. That's our 1A D1 state tournament preview. We kind of like Lapway, Lakeside, Potlatch, top 3. Do you have a dark horse, Joel, that could break in that's not in that top 3?
Butte County or Valley, but probably Butte County. If either of those are going to break through, I'd go with Butte County.
Okay. I like it. That's good. Joel, I'll see you over there in Boise.
All right, Brandon. Yeah, thanks. Drive safe, and we'll see you in a few days.
Yep, sounds like a plan. Joel and I will be on the call for the 1A D1 state tournament from Valley View High School starting Thursday on IdahoSports.com. All right, we'll take a break and come back for our 2A state tournament preview. I know there's already people lined up in the chat to talk and break down this 2A bracket, so we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the IdahoSports.com Boys Basketball State Tournament Preview Special